Back, and today we're going to look at the assembly instructions for the Tyke Supply HS33. This model is a stair climbing hand truck made from commercial grade aluminum. The assembly instructions, however, did leave some details out, so we want to take a minute to go over the full instructions for you to make it as easy as possible. This is how it arrives. It's a pretty reasonable sized box, and it's packaged well with shipping straps, as you can see. The main components are just inside the box, and then you'll find the wheel assembly, the large sleeves, the long handle, and the mounting brackets in the smaller inner box, so just make sure that you separate all of those. You'll only need a couple of tools for the assembly process. You'll need a 13mm wrench, an adjustable wrench or a second 13mm wrench, a 5.5 Allen wrench, and a hammer. You can also use sockets if you prefer. I used wrenches and it was pretty easy that way. Here are the installation instructions. There are a few parts on here that are not real clear, so we'll go ahead and touch on each of those parts in the video. Let's take a look at step 1. In this step, we will attach the nose of the dolly to the frame and the brackets for the axle. The instructions don't show the brackets up close, so here's the easiest way to make sure that they're attached properly. You have the ridge on this piece, and that's going to go inside the channel of the frame. Then as you see this angled piece right behind it, it angles back towards the center of the hand truck. Once you have this piece attached, the next piece is pretty straightforward. You just line the ridge up with the channel again, and then this hole in the back is the one that'll be used for the axle in the next step. Now for step 2. Here we'll be installing the axle. It just slides through the hole that we saw in the last step. Now we're going to take these spring pins and insert them in the holes that are pre-drilled in the axle. This is what's going to hold the axle in place and keep it from sliding left or right. This is where you'll need the hammer. Don't be afraid to hit these. It does take some pressure to go ahead and get them to seat properly into the axle. Moving on to step 3. This is the step that's the least clear on the actual instructions. This picture shows the order that you should be installing the parts. It's going to be the small sleeve, followed by a washer. Then you put the large sleeve on, and then you slide the wheel assembly over the large sleeve. That's the part that the instructions omitted. It doesn't mention the large sleeve at all. So here you can see the large sleeve up close. I found it's easiest to put the sleeve on the axle first and then slide the wheels over it, versus putting the sleeve inside first. Now with the wheels on, you'll put another washer and then the cotter pin to secure the wheel assembly. Now the final step is installing the handle on step 4. This is really straightforward, just pay attention to the order of the parts. From the outside in, you'll have the frame, then the normal handle, the long handle, and then the short loop. It may take some pressure to get the long handle and the short loop to nestle in properly. Just secure the screws and there you have it. This is the fully assembled HS33 from Tyke Supply. Very simple assembly. Just remember how to attach the first bracket, and the wheel assembly goes over the long sleeve. Those are the two things that weren't real clear in the instructions. Leave any questions or comments below. We'll also have a full review of this product coming soon. And today we're going to look at the assembly instructions for the Tyke Supply HS33. This model is a stair climbing hand truck made from commercial grade aluminum. The assembly instructions, however, did leave some details out, so we want to take a minute to go over the full instructions for you to make it as easy as possible. This is how it arrives. It's a pretty